Have you ever felt that your rhythm does not match the rhythm of the world, not because you are incapable, not because you lack ambition, but because you need things to make sense before you move? From an early age, you may have felt rushed. Others may have expected you to act faster, decide sooner, respond immediately, and something inside resisted. You may have felt misunderstood, compared to those who were quicker, louder, more spontaneous. You may have heard, "Why are you so slow?" or "Why are you so serious?" If you were born on the 4th, the 13th, the 22nd, or the 31st, there is a psychological structure behind this experience. These numbers carry themes of discipline, structure, responsibility, and embodiment. They are not about speed. They are about foundation. Let's begin with the pure 4. A child born on the 4th often needs completion. They want to finish the drawing, solve the puzzle, tie the shoes fully. When they are interrupted repeatedly, something small but important happens. The message becomes, "Your pace is wrong." Over time, this message creates internal tension. Point 4 energy lives strongly in the body. When completion is denied, the body tightens. Shoulders rise, the jaw clenches, breathing becomes shallow. This does not look dramatic. It looks normal, but it accumulates. In childhood, 4s often become dependable. They learn to manage themselves. They do not create chaos. But maturity too early creates pressure. They may suppress frustration to maintain stability. They may avoid conflict to preserve order. In relationships, adult 4s often bring security. They are steady, predictable, reliable. But they may struggle when a partner is emotional or unpredictable. They may try to control the environment instead of expressing discomfort. Control feels safer than vulnerability. In the late 20s, 4s usually build career, savings. A practical life. They may not take dramatic risks. They prefer steady progress. By the mid-30s, responsibility increases, family obligations, financial commitments, leadership roles, and here is where something deeper begins. Between 35 and 45, many with strong 4 energy experience emotional fatigue, not collapse, fatigue. They have carried responsibility for years. They have maintained stability. They have avoided chaos. But inside, a quiet question appears. Is this all? Stability may have replaced aliveness. They may fear losing control if they change direction. They may fear destabilizing the family or career. They stay steady, and the body speaks. Chronic tightness in the shoulders, jaw tension at night, persistent fatigue that rest does not fully solve. Imagine a 40-year-old man with strong 4 energy. He works in management, reliable, respected, rarely late. At home, he provides. He fixes problems. He keeps everything functioning. But lately, small things irritate him. A delayed payment, noise in the house. An unexpected request. He tells himself, "I'm just tired. I need to push through." This is what responsibility looks like. His partner senses something is off. She says he feels distant. Internally, he thinks, "I'm doing everything right. Why does it feel empty? If I slow down, everything will fall apart. I can't afford to lose control." His shoulders stay tight even on weekends. He wakes with his jaw sore. He feels a heaviness he cannot name. What he does not see immediately is this. Discipline has turned into suppression. Stability has replaced vitality. Strength without softness becomes distance. This is the midlife turning point. Point 4 must learn flexibility without losing structure. Now let's move to 13. Carries sharper internal tension. From childhood, 13 often feels mentally alert, questioning, observing flaws in logic. If this intelligence is dismissed, frustration builds. In adulthood, 13 often sets high standards for work, for self, for others. They may not express dissatisfaction openly. They may internalize it. Silent resentment becomes common. Discipline without recognition becomes exhaustion. In relationships, 13 needs intellectual respect. If they feel underestimated, they withdraw. By their mid-30s, they may feel mentally overloaded. Constant thinking, constant planning. By 40, they may realize they have been proving themselves for years, proving to parents, proving to society, proving to themselves, and the body reflects that pressure. Tight neck, restless sleep, Mental fatigue. The mature 13 transforms criticism into creativity. Instead of resisting life, they redesign it. Now the 22nd.22 carries large potential.in early adulthood. They often feel capable of more than their environment offers. If they do not pursue meaningful responsibility, dissatisfaction grows. Vy midlife. 22 may feel torn. They have built stability, but the larger vision remains unexpressed. They may think, I should be further. I know I can do more. But what if I risk too much? Fear of losing control can block bold decisions. If maturity develops, 22 learns that leadership is not about control. It is about service. When ego softens, influence expands. Now the 31st.31 carries creative intelligence. In early life. They may resist rigid systems. In adulthood. They often build through originality. But by midlife, scattered creativity without structure creates instability. They may question long-term direction. They may think, I have ideas. But why don't they last? Why do I start strong and fade? The mature 31 builds frameworks around creativity. Without structure, creativity disperses. With structure, it matures. Let's return to the body. These patterns are not abstract. They live physically. Chronic shoulder tension, tight jaw, lower back stiffness, persistent tiredness. The body reflects unspoken pressure, not because something is broken, but because something is held. When emotional control becomes habit, muscles compensate. Release does not require drama. It requires awareness. Now let's speak about relationships more directly. These patterns shape marriage and parenting. Point 4 may provide stability, but struggle with emotional. Openness. Point 13 may provide insight, but struggle with vulnerability. 22 may provide vision, but struggle with softness. 31 may provide creativity, but struggle with consistency. In partnership. Rigidity creates distance. Maturity softens this. When 4 says, I feel overwhelmed, instead of controlling. When 13 says, I need appreciation, instead of withdrawing. When 22 says, I'm afraid of failing, instead of dominating. When 31 says, I need structure, instead of avoiding it. Connection deepens. Midlife clarity is quiet but powerful. Between 35 and 45, something becomes undeniable. You see both your strength and your limitation. You see how discipline built your life and how it restricted it. You see how responsibility earned respect and how it muted spontaneity. You see where you protected yourself and where that protection became isolation. This clarity is not crisis. It is integration. You cannot change your birth date, but you can mature its expression. Structure can support growth. Discipline can become sustainable. Responsibility can become chosen. And stability can regain aliveness. You do not need to move faster. You need to move consciously, and that decision, calm, steady, repeated, shapes your life more than any early comparison ever could. I'll see you in the next video.